Hey Astra Kids, and welcome back. And this is your 2023 horoscope using Vedic astrology. Just a quick disclaimer here that this is going to be according to Vedic astrology, which is using the sidereal zodiac. So if you're not familiar with what your sidereal moon sign or ascendant sign is, make sure to check out my free calculator down below in the description so that you have the correct information. Also, this horoscope will be according to your moon sign or rising sign. So this is not according to your sun sign, as the rising sign and the moon sign are mapping out your life. In particular, the rising sign is mapping out the lessons and experiences that you are going through, where the moon is mapping out your life according to how you are perceiving it, how it is happening within your mind, how it is making you feel internally. So these are the most important points to read your chart from. If you want to go deeper to understand how your chart actually plays out for you, actually getting into the planets, how they're aspecting one another, different transits, how they're impacting your life, the dasha periods that you're going through, all of these different factors, make sure to check out my brand new website where you can book an appointment with me. So, stepping into 2023, we will see a lot of major changes happen. But in particular, as we are coming into January, we will see Saturn shifting its position. So we've been in this 2.5 year cycle now of Saturn and Capricorn. But Saturn will be stepping into its Mulitricone sign of Aquarius. And this is a very powerful position. Throughout most of 2022, we're going to see Jupiter in the sign of Aries as well. And as we come towards the end of 2023, we're going to see Rahu shifting into Pisces and Ketu shifting into Virgo. We'll see that on October 30th, so more towards the end of the year. But we're going to have some major changes as Jupiter comes into Aries here in April and as Saturn is coming into Aquarius at the beginning of the year. So this is a huge year that is all about moving ahead, all about making some major changes and decisions, about having the confidence to go for what you want. We are going to see Saturn for the majority of this year in the nakshatra of Shatabisha. So Shatabisha is a nakshatra that is very mysterious, that is very much about science and mystery and exploration. It is a very intellectual nakshatra that likes to learn, that likes to delve into the mysteries. So this is a great time for anyone who is into research, anyone who is wanting to learn, wanting to get into their studies. And also this Jupiter in Aries is going to support this as well, because Jupiter will start off its transit in the nakshatra of Ashwini, and Ashwini is a very intelligent nakshatra as well. It is all about getting to the truth, as it is our first Ketu nakshatra. So Ashwini is a nakshatra that is drawn to the mysteries, that is drawn to philosophy, that is all about learning, that is all about absorbing knowledge and information and understanding it at a deeper level. So this is a very academic nakshatra. And so Jupiter is going to do very well as it comes into Ashwini, as Jupiter is again about knowledge, about learning, about travel. Ashwini also is a nakshatra that is all about adventure as well. So it is also akin to traveling. And we're going to see traveling is a theme as well, as Rahu comes into Pisces for some of you. As Pisces is about foreign travels, it is about isolation, spirituality, and so all sorts of long distance travel, whether that is foreign or whether that is happening on a deeper level as far as spiritual journeys and delving deeper. So this is a very interesting year that we are coming into with all of these different moving pieces here. K2 in Virgo is a bit of a tricky position as it can give us some perfectionistic tendencies wherever this is placed in your chart. K2, remember, is a planet that is all about letting go, that is all about surrender. But K2 also has a side to it that is very stubborn because K2 is very much about our belief systems, about our deeper truth. So it is very adamant about what it believes. Remember that K2, although it is about spirituality, it is a very fiery, smoky kind of energy. So there is an intensity to K2, a very transformative energy that is behind it. And so as K2 comes into Virgo, it is a very critical time. It is about perfection, it is about details. And we can see some difficulties related to health as well. There's a lot around health as we're seeing Jupiter coming into Ashwini, which is health related. We're also going to see Rahu in Ashwini as we come into this next year as well, as we're finishing out this transit of Rahu in Aries. And then, of course, we have Saturn that's going to move into Shatabisha, which is also related to complicated illnesses and miracle healing. And so there is a lot that is centered around health, that is centered around healing, that is centered around natural medicines that can come up during this year as well. There can be a lot of war, and we are going to see Rahu coming into a conjunction with Jupiter as well. And so Rahu and Jupiter together is creating a very interesting yoga where we are going to see some explosive energies coming in here. Remember that Rahu is very obsessive. It blows everything up. And Jupiter is a very expansive planet. And we have it in this fiery sign of Aries. So this is going to be a very interesting energy that is all about risk taking, that is all about being daring, courageous, bold, going for what you want. But you want to be careful with that Rahu influence in there, as Jupiter and Aries can give us a great deal of luck and success around our achievements, as Aries is all about that willpower, that strength, that determination, that originality, that ability to pioneer and trend set. But Rahu is a planet that is very unstable, that can get us into some difficulties. So as Jupiter and Rahu come together, this is a great time to plan for what you want, but you also want to use some caution coming into this transit as well. For those of you with Pisces Moon or Pisces Ascendant, we will start out the year with Saturn shifting back into Aquarius. So this is Saturn coming behind you in your 12th house. This is going to make you more secretive, more reserved. This is a time of deep introspection, of deep contemplation. Some of you are taking a back seat and really reflecting on your life and the direction that you want to go in. This is excellent for your spiritual progress, any kind of meditation, spiritual studies, occult studies, research, all of this. You are having the focus and the ability to go into these subjects. This really takes you behind the scenes in your work and in your overall approach towards life. This can be a time of letting go, a time of endings, conclusions. You can see people leaving your life, certain attachments fading away. This is all a part of this whole transit that began with Rahu here in your second house that we'll talk about in a moment. There's a lot that is shifting and changing for you and coming to an end. So you are ending a cycle at this time. And Saturn back in this 12th house is helping you to release everything that needs to go. Now, this also can be a time that there are dramatic changes in your finances. Saturn will aspect your second and sixth house, and as it sits back into this 12th house of expenses, this is definitely a time of losses, a time of an increase in your expenditure. However, as Saturn is aspecting your second house and ruling over your 11th house of gains, this also can bring in new opportunities for you to increase wealth. So this is a time where you need to find a space of balance when it comes to your resources. There's going to be a lot of dramatic changes, increases, and decreases occurring for you. This also can get you more serious about your family, about your wealth, your security, all of this is coming into your mind with this Saturn transit. This is all to do with restructuring your life and getting ready for this new phase that is beginning to open up for you. Saturn also can bring some conflict, some competition, litigation issues as it aspects over to the sixth house, along with some health concerns. So, this is a time where you want to make sure that you are addressing everything, bringing everything to the table, making sure that you're coming to a conclusion where you can resolve these conflicts. This is a time where you can develop some anxiety, some stress, some depression, especially from the moon's position. But for all of you, this Saturn going back into the 12th house is a gloomy position. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to your health, that you're doing all of the routines that can help you to deal with any kind of health related issues. As Saturn is sitting back in the 12th house of the bedroom, this can cause some insomnia, some issues around sleep. This is a huge time where you are growing, you are improving, and all of this is happening from the background. So as Saturn moves ahead in 2025 into your first house, all of this is going to start to solidify for you. In April, we will see Jupiter shift into Aries. So Jupiter has been in a very auspicious placement here in your first house for some time now, where this has been blessing you, it has been expanding upon your life. And as Jupiter moves ahead into Aries, this really changes your focus and direction. Remember that Jupiter is your Lord, so wherever it goes, this is where the focus of your life will go. So as Jupiter moves into the second house, again, you're thinking more about your finances, about your family, about your security. So, this is a big time where you are focused on making money, where you're focused on farming stability for your life. And this is excellent as this is moving you into this brand new direction. This can be a time where your speech is gaining confidence and charisma. Anything related to speaking, communication, lecturing, all of this can be helpful for you. With Jupiter in the second house, you also want to pay attention to your diet. Jupiter is akin to sweets, and it is a very abundant planet. As it comes into this second house, this can be a time of overindulgence. And so, this is definitely a time to pay close attention to your health as this aspects over to your sixth house as well. But with this aspect to your sixth house, this can give you great advice. You can get the best medical advice, the best knowledge related to your diet and routine. This can also be a time where you get advice for any kind of legal issues, any kind of competition and concerns. You deal with these areas very gracefully with Jupiter being in this second house. This is excellent for any kind of research, any kind of prayer, meditation, any kind of deep studies that you're getting into. Jupiter in this second house is giving you the ability to focus in on your studies and to get into these areas of philosophy, of tradition, of history. This can also be a time where you get more opportunities in your career area, but this can be a very daydreamy time for career. So, some of you thinking about this long term vision of things that you've always wanted to do, coming up with a plan of how you're going to execute this. Some of you thinking about entrepreneurial routes. All of this is coming into view with Jupiter in this second house. Now, towards the end of October here, we will see Rahu shift ahead into Pisces. So as Rahu moves backwards, this is going to leave this second house and come into your first house. And this is the change that a lot of you have been waiting for. Rahu in that second house has been a time of restructuring your life, of things falling away, your past starting to move behind you. And as you come into this transit of Rahu in the first house, this is going to give you a brand new life, a brand new direction. This is opening up new opportunities for you, giving you more clarity, more focus, more energy, more ambition. So, Rahu coming into this first house is excellent for your direction in life. Now, as Rahu increases your energy and ambition, though, this can impact your health. This can make you very restless at this time, where you are finding that you're more active and needing more outlets to express this energy. So you do want to pay attention to your health and make sure that you are using this energy properly. This is a huge time of self-development. You can find yourself becoming more self-conscious about your appearance, about yourself, and this really draws you inward, where this is a self-focused transit. You are all about your life direction, all about yourself at this time. This can also get you very much interested in your studies. Your mental capacity to learn increases at this time. And so this is excellent for getting into any kind of philosophy, spirituality, for your higher education. Some of you returning back to education. And for those of you who are involved in education, this gives you more clarity, more focus. You can find more success in these areas. This can also get you interested in travel and foreign cultures at this time. This is a very adventurous time where you are looking to explore. The only thing is that this can give you some challenges in your relationships because K2 will be in the opposing house in your seventh house, where this can be a time where you become very detached and withdrawn from your spouse. This can be a time where you are detaching yourself from others, again, becoming more self-oriented, more about your improvement, your growth, your direction in life. However, this is a time where your spouse can struggle, where your spouse is needing support. There can be health issues around your spouse. There can be a lot of stress, a lot of difficulties within their life. So this is a time to find that balance between your first and seventh house.